Peace to the cosmos, peace to the gods and goddesses, peace to the earth and peace to the soul tribe. Good vibes that stimulate your mind, body, soul, and your brain. Generate it, activate it, motivate it, and elevate it. Now that's game. So let it go with the flow and tune to the spirit. Listen with your third eye so you can feel this and hear it. Metaphysics and music, baby.
Metaphysics and that music, you know how we do it. More than just a podcast, it's a culture and a movement.
We do this for the tribe, we do this for the nation. It's all feathers up, so it's no hesitation.
Metaphysics and that music, you know how we coming. We killing ignorance, so you better get to running.
We been at war, and we still at war. They started civil war all over tribal war.
The music game is twisted, it's a dose of something real. My brothers ride with books that's equivalent to the steel. It's not a standing fight, but it's also the time to heal. They keep trying to dim my light, but this fire can't be concealed.
Yo, metaphysics always been a thing. Metaphysics and music, that's our big bang. Oh yeah, we spin our mathematics like rosemary. Our words are aromatic.
Yeah, this that metaphysics and that music. Yeah, this that metaphysics and that music. Yeah, this that metaphysics and that music. We're more than just a podcast, it's a culture and a movement. Yeah, this that metaphysics and that music. Yeah, this that metaphysics and that music. Yeah, this that metaphysics and that music. We're more than just a podcast, it's a culture and a movement.
What it do, my brothers? What it do, my sisters? To all of my kin folks and my knee G's out there, you already know. Back at you again. What up, tribe? Yo, man, it has definitely been a minute. It's been a long minute since we did anything. So I've been very reluctant to record anything. Not because I don't want to, but to be honest, totally honest with y'all, I really don't believe that y'all even care to hear anything that I have to say. Y'all don't care about any of the topics, anything that's important to the community. And when I say the community, I'm not one of them. It's us against them. I am on that. It is us against them. But when I say it's us against them, I'm talking about the ones that are tapped in, the ones that are aware of, the ones that are conscious of something. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not referring to the ones that's not conscious. I'm not referring to the ones that, let's just say, they know, but they want to act like they don't know. Because I really don't give two fucks or two shits about them individuals whatsoever. You know what I mean? And that's why. That's the main reason why I have not recorded anything whatsoever. It has been a lot going on Daughter Earth. It has been a lot going on. I think the last time that I recorded anything, it was the episode of what's your message, and I don't find it to be coincidence or anything like that, but that was something that was like really on my heart, something that the spirit kept on saying, hey, you need to get it out there. You need to get it out there. You need to get it out there. And I said, okay, we're going to go out here and we're going to get the message out there. So wind up putting the message out there. and everything. Don't know if anybody listened to it, checked it out, watched it, or anything. But uh, like I said, I don't find it to be no coincidence or anything. But from that time leading up till now, um, y'all president, Mr. Trump, uh, has went on a rampage with certain messages that he's been getting across. Um, the latest one, matter of fact, because I'm gonna talk about a little bit of everything in this episode. Um, Obviously, as y'all, well, I hope y'all know. If y'all don't know, y'all gonna know. Yes, I am a 15-year veteran truck driver, over the road, regional, local. Oh, hold on, Miss Wifey. All right, that was Wifey calling and whatnot. But anyway, like I was saying, um, 15-year vet, truck driver, over the road, regional. I've done local. I have pulled dry van, reefer unit. Let me explain myself when I say reefer unit. I know a lot of people like, oh man, he talking about smoking weed. It's a short word for refrigerated unit. Basically, in a nutshell, to kind of give you a example, think about your freezer or a deep freezer, okay? And that's basically they done been did this shit alone, figured this shit out a long time ago, fam. But it's basically a deep freezer or refrigerator, but it's a trailer, a tractor trailer. Well, I mean, it's just a trailer. You know what I'm saying? But they got a motor on the front of it and whatnot, and we can control the temperature setting anywhere from if the produce, if it needs to be quote unquote warm or semi cold, all the way up to like your chicken loads. I used to pick up chicken loads, and I would have to pilgrims, was it Pilgrims? I think it was Pilgrims. I was picking up. They would on the paperwork. I would have to. Well, I would already know from the text message, but I would have to set the the temperature to a negative 10 degrees, and sometimes, not all the time, sometimes just depending on where you at and who you picking up for and from, they will make sure that that temperature is dropping, getting to that negative status. But before they even load you up. But anyway, I used to pull intermodal containers. Um, Another slang word, short word for them are containers. Them are the ones that you see on the rail lines. They look like big ass metal boxes, and that's basically what they are. It's a big ass metal box. Uh, I've done bulk tanker. I pull bulk tankers also. Flatbed. I've only pulled one flatbed. Uh, One time. Actually, no, I take that back too. The first time it was a load from Chicago all the way down here to Chattanooga. So I wound up pulling that one, and that was kind of fun because I had to stop or pull over so many miles and make sure that the chains wasn't loose and whatnot. Had to make sure the straps was tight and stuff like that. And you know, fairly decent, decent load and whatnot. But so I've been doing this for a minute. Y'all probably like, well, where am I going with this? Well, like I said, Trump, with what's your message? thing. He has signed a executive order mandating that all United States truck drivers be English proficient. Now, I'm about to let y'all in. I'm about to let y'all in on something. Um, this rule, or well, he signed the executive order. This rule has always been in play. The FMCSA, that is the Federal Motor Carrier Association, they are the ones that come out with like a lot of our policies, rules, regulations, what we can do, what we can't do. They work along with the national federal DOT, Department of Transportation. So they work with them and everything, and um, that rule or that law has always been in play. From I came in what 2010. It's always been in play. The thing is, states have not enforced it, and then DOT officers have not enforced it. But it's been a lot going on, and in my industry about a month or two ago, a Somalian, Ethiopian truck driver, and I got to get this out, non-domicile CDL driver. I'm gonna explain this after I tell y'all. But the driver, I'm gonna talk about them too. The driver was pulling an Amazon container, and yes, I'm gonna talk about Amazon also, because I don't work for them no more. um, so I can put it out there. It is what it is. Um, he was pulling a container, and apparently, what they said he was drunk. They said he was drunk. He wound up killing about five people, um, and everything. So my condolences once again to them family members that lost their lives. I it might have been like two adults, and the rest might have been kids. You know what I'm saying? So, and then the crazy thing about it is, homeboy, he tried to leave the scene. He, you know, he after he did everything. Now y'all probably like, damn, but this is not nothing new, because if y'all follow me on my YouTube page, for Ninth House Truck Lines, I got a series on there that's called Highway Stories, and I actually tell y'all certain stuff, certain stories, and certain things that I have encountered during my time, out there on the road and whatnot. And I had actually a situation had popped up with me where somebody had hit me, and I talked about this shit. And that shit happened a while back ago. So him trying to skedaddle, and lead the scene. I wasn't surprised to hear that, what whatsoever. Um, so we're gonna talk a little bit about that. Also, I'm gonna talk a little bit about um, my time over at Amazon. Now, I was not a company driver with Amazon, so I'm gonna let that be known. I was actually working for a company called TCB Trucking out of Ottawa, Tennessee. Ottawa, Tennessee is, give you a little background. It is, Ottawa is a Native American city or town. It's another one that's up there also. It's called Etowah. So you got Ottawa and Etowah, and on this side of Tennessee going down into Georgia. Matter of fact, um, right here, she is a Blackfoot Indian. Okay, and right there, she is a red Cherokee. Now, these two women that I'm showing you, these women, this is on my wife's father's side of the family. This is uh, her great grandmother, and then this is her mother. So you talking about probably about 4 or 5 generations back. Um, she got raped by a red Cherokee Indian. He was a European skin tone with red hair, but he was a native. He raped her, and y'all probably see. I was under the impression, but you really can't. I ain't gonna get too far into that and whatnot. But like I said, she was raped, and the child right here. And then, like I said, this is my wife. So now y'all can see, you know, quote unquote, the high cheekbones and everything. So and some people that's what they like to say. They like to say you know that's how you could tell Native American, high cheekbone. I got a high cheekbone. I'm red. I'm red. So, and then like on both sides of my family, mama's side, they come out of that Chickasaw area, and then on my daddy's side, they come out of Choctaw area. So shout out to Choctaws, Chickasaws, Cherokees, Blackfoots, um, to the whole nation. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. We've been at war and we still at war. You know what I mean? Um, but anyway, when it's all said and done, talk a little bit about that also. But where am I going with this? So them names, Udawa and Etowah, um, they're quote unquote they're native, uh, organic. I'm gonna say organic. They're organic names to hear. Uh, Turtle Island, or some of y'all say United States of America. I say Turtle Island, and whatnot. But we been here. You know what I mean? There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. Um, some of y'all have not been here. Some of y'all did come over here on ships. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna get into all of that or whatnot. That's one of the things you gotta do a little research on your own. I can say that a lot of the Europeans, they came over here on ships. I say that. I will also say that it was a point in time where what we know as Turtle Island and other continents, they was all one. And then shit started happening and started separating and whatnot. You know what I mean? So like I said, going back to uh, that driver. That driver, he did what he did, and by him doing what he did, and he's not the first foreign driver to do what he did. Um, and y'all probably like, damn man, you just kind of talked about this and you jumping all over, but I got to paint this picture for y'all. Um, like I said, the company name that I was working for, TCB, out of Ottawa, Tennessee, and they're foreigners. And y'all about to be like, huh? That's why I say I got to paint this picture for y'all. So the foreigner, the Ethiopian brother, Ethiopia or Somalian, he got into that accident and whatnot. What he wound up doing is he basically opened up a can of worms that I believe that he didn't know what was going to happen or come his way, because what wound up happening, yes, he did get locked up. They did release him also, but a lot of the citizens of the United States of America, they got they got pissed the fuck off. Um, I'm not talking about the people that's not in my industry. I'm talking about the people that's in my industry, other truck drivers, other business owners, brokers. I mean, it's so many layers in the trucking industry. Okay, but the people in my industry said enough is enough, and what wind up happening is this one particular guy. He has a YouTube page, and he's still doing it now, and he's being a man of his word. The name of his channel is called Bonehead Trucker, and Bonehead Trucker has said that since the accident has happened, his mission now is to bring awareness to the Congress of the United States, to senators, to Congress people of um, we gotta get the bad apples out of the industry, and he's absolutely right. Um, I get it. Somebody not from from Turtle Island that come to Turtle Island, um, trying to make a living, an honest living, or whatever the case might be. But the way how this system is set up, and I'm just gonna speak my mind. So it is what it is. But the way how this system is set up, um, they have always had their boots embedded in our throats, into the copper tone man and copper tone women throats. Okay, um, so them putting pressure on my people, but then allowing other people to come over into this land and actually uh, take advantage of certain and give them opportunities that they will not even think about giving my community. You know what I'm saying? And now the shit's coming back and it's backfiring on their ass. I mean, it's backfiring. It's backfiring on them in a way that I'm pretty sure they never thought 1 second that it was gonna come back and bite them in the ass. Um, Now, when you hear the word non-domicile CDL driver, in a nutshell, these are people that come into the United States. They probably don't even have a driver's license in their country. Probably don't even know how to drive a car, period, because they don't own a car in their own country. Okay, so this is put that out there. So they come over here and they get an opportunity to go to truck driving school, and the government gives them a CDL. Well, actually, the state, whatever state that they're in, because they got to take the tests and all this shit. Um, they go through all of that, and then that state issues out that CDL license to that person from that state. But also at the same time, because see, this rabbit hole goes a whole lot deeper than what a lot of people really won't want to admit. A lot of the CDL testers have been getting broken off, getting bribes, getting paid. I mean, getting paid good money. We talking about like $520, $530. It's a story that just came out several days ago from the state of Washington, up there northwest part of Turtle Island, where the state examiner for CDL just got caught taking bribes. And y'all, I'm gonna tell you how he got caught. And I was like, stupid motherfuckers, you so goddamn smart, you stupid. Um, the person at the school, the truck driving school, they was mailing him the money and sending it to him in envelopes. So the United States Postal Service, they seen that shit and they flagged it. And then this is how the investigation into him and what was going on had took place, because once they seen, okay, this is who was going to and everything, they started to go back and say, okay, this is where it came from. And then they started to put two and two together and everything. But the bribery when it comes to the CDL state testers, that's just been going on for a long time. More and more people are just starting to get caught. And like I said, I've been doing this for 15 years, and I know for a fact, it has been going on since I've been in the industry. And by it's happening the way that it's been happening, what has happened is you have opened up a floodgate, and through this floodgate, you have so many foreign drivers that are getting CDL license, and they're driving these vehicles. I'm gonna explain something to y'all. The gross weight of a truck or a semi truck and the trailer is 80,000 pounds. 80,000 pounds. So keep that in mind. If I'm traveling down the highway and I'm going 65, because majority of the states the speed limit is 70, 75. And I'm just saying 65 to give y'all an example of how serious this shit is. If I'm doing 65 miles an hour going down the highway, an accident happens, and if I have to slam on my brakes, it's going to take roughly 6 football fields for that truck to come to a complete stop. And that's at 80,000 pounds. So let that shit sink in. This is no game. This is no joke whatsoever. Whatsoever. And like I said, the brother, he was drunk. And he did what he did. And he is a what they call a non-domicile CDL holder. The shit's on YouTube. Where they Bonehead Trucker, he got access to the video because the dude was filming him, and the truck driver, he was like, I didn't do nothing. I didn't do nothing. I don't know what you're talking about. And done. So when that happened, Bonehead Trucker and other truckers in this industry started speaking up and started saying something, a whole lot of something. And the big wigs in this industry, people for the FMCSA, people for the DOT, Secretary of the Secretary of Department of Transportation. They didn't publicly come out and say this, but they have been having talks. The presidents of the American Trucking Association, OIDA, other trucking association groups. I know the Arkansas Trucking Association group. I believe now the Oklahoma Trucking Association group, and other I know Nebraska. It was either Nebraska or Minnesota. They was about to get on this, so it's spreading. Spread like wildfire. It's spread. And I believe y'all president decided that he wanted to kind of jump on it and try to get a hand, get it under control and whatnot. So that's why he did the executive order, where you gotta know how to read English. You have to know how to read, and you have to know how to talk English properly. Uh, and I'm even gonna say it should go a step further than that. You need to be able to understand and to comprehend the words that you're reading. Now y'all might say, well man, that's petty as hell. Why a person, a truck driver needs to know how to read. Well, several reasons why, idiot. No, number one, if that truck driver is going into a construction zone, there are signs that's y'all don't pay attention to. I'm gonna say that, but truck drivers supposed to pay attention to. There are signs well in advance that will tell the truck driver, road construction 3 miles ahead, right lane closed. So this is the reason why that driver needs to know how to read and understand what he's reading. Because when I'm driving, first thing that comes to my mind is, hey, I'm about to come into a construction zone. I got 3 miles before I come into this construction zone. Now, I'm just speaking for me. I ain't speaking for nobody else. I'm only speaking for me. This is what I typically do. I got 3 miles before I hit this construction zone. If I'm driving behind a slow truck and I look in my mirror, my driver's side mirror, and I don't see no traffic on that lane, I automatically get in the hammer lane and go around, because I don't want to be behind no slow truck going in no construction zone. Because I know I already have to slow down to the posted speed limit. Once again, I have to be able to read and understand what I'm reading and slow down and safely get through there. Because I'm not trying to get no ticket and no construction zone. Listen, what's today? Today is Communication Day Wednesday, right? Mercury Day. This past Monday, I had to go to Georgia. I had to go to court, and I had to pay this citation ticket down in Fulton County. Fulton County ain't shit. But they they hit me for $150 for a fucking citation ticket. I got off good. One brother, they hit him with a $700 fine. A citation ticket at that. Not a ticket. Just a citation. Hit him with $700. Judge asked him, can you pay it now? He said, no. She said, okay, we're going to give you more than enough time to get it paid because he had pled guilty. And she said, by you pleading guilty, we will suspend your license. And I'm not trying to suspend your license. So he had to basically plead no contest. So he did that. Then she was like, $700 fine. Can you pay that now? And he said, no, ma'am. She said, okay, we're going to give you 2 months to pay it off, but we're going to put you on probation also. So let that shit sink in, okay? So like I said, I'm not trying to get no kind of god dang on tickets and no construction zone or anything like that. So this is why we have to know how to read and understand what we're reading. The other thing is this right here. When we get loaded up, the shipper is supposed to give us a BOL. A BOL is bills of landing. Basically, it's your paperwork. And on this paperwork, it's a description of what the product is. It's supposed to be where it's coming from and where it's going. It don't have anything on there, how much the load is paying or shit like that. That's another topic subject. But it just gives you general information about the load, what you're picking up, the product, and then if you have a hazmat endorsement, it will have all of that information as well, listing the hazardous material. Because see, for some of y'all that don't know, I gotta let you know, they do ship a lot of hazardous material through trucks. So imagine a hazardous material truck coming through construction zone doing about 70 miles an hour and they got to slam on their brakes. Or I got a better one for y'all. Because this just happened, I believe, a couple of days ago. A flatbed driver, he was hauling steel pipes. Now, I don't know. When I say steel pipes, you got steel pipes that are sometimes, I'm not throwing them no gang sign. You got steel pipes, sometimes they are that small, and then you got some that are humongous, circle wise. Well, and I heard that the driver had lived, so I said that's good. But a driver, he slammed on his brakes and he was hauling some steel pipes, and one of the steel pipes had actually came through the back of his truck, and it actually had went through him. Um, have y'all seen the old scary movie Final Destination, where the guy had slammed on his brakes and the metal rods had like went through shit, or they had came through the car? Well, that's what happened to that driver. And it, I know some of y'all like, damn, like, yeah. um Doing this, it can be deadly. um I've actually seen, when I was pulling containers, I was, this one, we was living up in Indy, Nat, and I was always in Chicago, always. And I was coming out of Chicago. I was getting back on 65 South, going back down to Indianapolis, and the wind gust was so strong. I seen a container driver. The container had actually popped off of the chassis and it started rolling. I mean, like rolling. I was like, oh shit. you know, that was that was crazy. I also seen a steel coil. I don't know if okay, steel when they do these steel coils, they flatten the steel out and then they wrap it up in a coil and they put it on the back of a flatbed. Well, one of them had got loose on the flatbed. The chains had snapped and that steel coil was rolling down the highway. And it's not like, a person could just run up to it and be like, mm-mm, mm-mm. No, that person's gonna get ran over and they're gonna kill themselves and whatnot. So, like I said, uh him signing this executive order, it has opened up a can of worms that a lot of foreign drivers never really expected. And I mean, never expected. And now it's on the point of, because I just seen this shit yesterday, and I had to show my wife. These companies now, they're in big bold letters saying you have to know how to read and write English, and if you cannot, they will not hire you. And the sad part is, some of these foreign drivers have their own trucking companies, so keep that in mind because TCB out of Ottawa, Tennessee, they're foreigners. Bruno and Danella, they are from Brazil. They speak Portuguese or Spanish. But when they didn't want me to understand or know some shit, they start speaking in their native tongue. But they didn't. They don't even know. I understand Spanish. I used to live in New York City. I had Puerto Rican friends. I had Mexican friends. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, son, like, what does this word mean? And they're like, oh, son, that motherfucker talking bad about you, baby. Woo, woo, woo. You know what I'm saying? So, I just didn't tell them that though. I understand what the fuck you saying, but I would just listen and like look at them and be like, man, y'all just don't even fucking know. But anyway, so I don't know what's about to happen with them and their company, but now this is how we get on Amazon. They got a contract through Amazon. And guess who hires majority of the foreign drivers? I can't make this up. I cannot make this up. I can't make it up. I can't. But guess who hires majority of the foreign drivers? Amazon. I'm gonna say it again. Amazon. Now, y'all, some of y'all might say, "Oh man, Jeff Bezos, he wrong." Wow, Jeff Bezos, and y'all can Google this up. Y'all can do your own research. Jeff Bezos did sell some of his shares to Amazon, and what I found out in my research is the majority of the shares that he wound up selling, it was to a I guess you want to call them a investor group from India. And for all my independent contractors that's working for somebody that got an account through Amazon, if you ever wondering why, like at night, you're in communication with an Indian and whatnot, this is why. Because this uh uh I guess you can call them a communication or a telecommunication company. The people that own them have bought shares into Amazon, and by them buying into Amazon, um, you know, they help expand Amazon. So this is the reason why a lot of Indians pull freight for Amazon. This is the reason a lot of your Somalians and Ethiopians pull freight for Amazon because um, over there overseas the dialect is basically Arabic. It's different, probably different, breaking down different ways of saying shit. That real good example, real good example. Um, Puerto Ricans Spanish is way different from Mexican Spanish. Now, some of y'all are like, huh? Trust me. Trust me. It's different. And then Dominicans Spanish is way different from Puerto Ricans and Mexicans. Uh, what was said and taught to me was Dominicans Spanish is the proper way. Puerto Ricans Spanish is it's like us. It's our lingo. Uh, our quote unquote ebonics. You know. So when Puerto Ricans when they're speaking their Spanish, it's a lot of quote unquote ebonics. You know what I'm saying? And then the way that Mexicans speak their Spanish, quote unquote, is different from them other two. And then you know you got because I had a friend, he's a dark skinned Panamanian, and Robert speak English very clear, but boy, that's why I said like y'all don't know, like like used to be around him. We used to go places, and them older uh racist Puerto Rican women, they get to I look at him and he'll and they would and he's like, yeah, I'm from Panama. They're like, oh, we're so sorry. We're so sorry. And you know, and I would like that's why you can't judge a book by its cover. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, we all come from the same pot. It might be one or two of us that's like them reptilians. They don't come from our pot. We might have a little bit of them in us, but they don't come from not they don't come from not this pot. You know what I'm saying? You know, so I'm just saying like we all in this together, man. You know. But anyway, so this is the reason why a lot of your Indians, a lot of them are pulling the freight. You know, and it's crazy because the family that was passed away in that accident in Texas, they're suing Amazon now. And Amazon is trying to say that um, it was not their responsibility and their fault. The driver did what he did, but they about to be in for a rude fucking awakening because The way how they put it on the lines of the guy's just a subcontractor through them. Do y'all remember a couple years ago, um, a brother out of Texas, I believe, he had got into a real bad accident. He was pulling a Walmart trailer. He had got into a bad accident, and the person that he wound up harming real bad was Tracy Morgan. Do y'all remember that? Walmart tried to say the same thing. You know, that they was not responsible. He's just a subcontractor. Well, Tracy Morgan got paid. So that family is they about to get broken off. Like broken off. You know what I mean? So that's the other thing. You know, you got companies that don't want to take that responsibility. They want you to do all the work, but they don't want to take that responsibility. They take the responsibility on the other the flip shit. That's just like I said, I ain't over there no more, so I can talk about them. They rush the fuck out of you to get the freight where it needs to get to. And the crazy thing is, once you get it there, they will send you a message through their app, and it will be on some. You need to hurry up and leave, because they don't want you. They don't want you hanging out or taking a 10-hour break on their property. And then they put you in a situation, and this is how I got my citation ticket. They put you in a situation where you have to park somewhere where you don't know if it's safe for you to park at or not, but you take a chance because the Amazon hub is right there, and you assuming this street right here, Amazon probably own it and whatnot, and then you get woken up about 3, 4 o'clock in the morning by a Union City police officer that's doing her job. You know what I mean? And she hit you with a citation ticket versus just giving you a warning and telling you to get up out of here. Fulton County, huh? So I'm gonna leave that one alone. Yo, it's crazy. Matter of fact, I gotta say something about that too. It's crazy because when I was in court, it was a young man, a young a young brother. He's in the Navy. He had the whole Navy suit on and everything. Guess what? They still hit him with a freaking fine and they put him on probation. I was like, wow. It's like Fulton County ain't shit. They ain't shit. They ain't shit. They ain't shit. Because the girl that was sitting next to him, she said, "You in the Navy. And them motherfuckers still put you on probation?" And he said, "Yeah." He said, "Man, this is crazy." And I wanted to go and talk to the brother and tell him some stuff, but Spirit was like, no, no. Because I was going to be in the Navy a long time ago. And I got into some trouble. But the judge, he was like, you about to go get deployed a couple of days? I was like, "Yes, Your Honor." He threw that shit out real quick. He threw that shit out real quick. You know what I'm saying? And that was because of um somebody had showed up with me. You know what I mean? He was like we look out for our own. You know, he was like, "We got you." You know what I mean? So I'm just saying. But it's the shit is crazy though. So we got all of that going on. Oh my God. We got all of this stuff that's going on in the entertainment or the music industry. From Diddy to Big U, to Brick Baby, to Loose Cannon, Lucci Cannon, I think that's his name. What's the recent shit that's going on? Oh, this ain't even entertainment. I'm gonna say this. Matter of fact, this is what I'm gonna do. We gonna call this episode, "What is your message?" Part. Now we not even gonna call this "What is your message?" We just gonna call this episode "Update Part 1." Because I'm gonna do a update part 2 because there's some other things that I want to talk about. There's some other things that I need to get off of my chest. There's some other things that I need to put out there. And with part 2, this one is really for the community. And when I say that, I'm talking about the community on the lines that are aware, that are conscious of, that do know the difference between right and wrong. Um, we see a lot of wrong being done out here, and when people try to do the right thing, it's like they fucking fail, man. I mean, I don't know if y'all ever felt like that, but sometimes I be sitting around. Matter of fact, I'm gonna say this here. Let me see if I can. Okay, right, bam. Now that man right there, that's my granddaddy. That's Granddaddy Willis. This is my mother's father. Okay, that's Uncle. That's Little Rick. That's my grandma Mary. This is my mother's mother. That's my daddy. That's my grandma. This is my dad's mama. That's my Uncle Mike. That's Uncle Rick. That's Jivey. That's Granddaddy Pound. That right there. That's Mama. Mama passed away about a year ago. That's Peeper. That's Nana. That's Jivey. But anyway. Uh, Something that, like I said, Granddaddy Willis has said to me a long time ago. He said this to me right when I got my CDL license back in 2010. He said, Keno, because see, my daddy gave me the name Keno. He said, Keno, he said, it's easy to do wrong. He said, but it's hard as hell to do the right thing. I'm going to repeat that one more time. It is easy to do wrong. It's hard as hell to do right. And on that note, probably come back, I don't know, today, tomorrow, I don't know. I'm going to do part 2 and go into that because, man, it's a sad, fucked up situation that's going on up there in Cincinnati, Ohio. But by me being from the Midwest, from Naptown, it's a lot of things that I know. You know, being around the OGs and whatnot, and ain't no marching, ain't no protesting. So on that note, I'm gonna go ahead and end this one. Hey fam, y'all enjoy the rest of your day. And once again, it's easy to do wrong, but it's hard as hell to do the right thing. Y'all already know, fam. Peace, love, and joy. Holla.